All right, guys. So it looks like we might lose this stream entirely, guys. It looks like we're getting knocked off all the streams right now. I'm just going in the backhand end here looking at this. This is fucking bullshit, man. Okay, I just reset the YouTube now. I don't know if it's going through, but bullshit. Fucking pricks. All right, Tio. Tio sent me another coffee again this week. Thank you, Tio, for the coffee. All right, let's continue. I'm going to drink some Zambuca tonight, man. I'm going to open lines. What the fuck do I have left to talk about here? What do I have left to talk about here? Let me just see what else I have left to talk. Nah. Yeah, we'll talk about... if I run out of things to talk about, I'll talk about that. Let's get some... all right, let's get... let's see if we can get some callers on tonight's show. Let's get some first-time callers on the show. All right, requests. No requests. All right, guys, I'll keep the show open for a little bit and see if anybody wants to call in. And I'd just like to get some... I'd like to hear from some fresh people, man. Some fresh voices here on Mike in the Night. Already covered headlines. And, yeah, YouTube shut me down for some reason. I think once you start getting into the whole China destroyed your country type of thing, but we've been on China destroyed your country for like 15 years, not like last week, right? I know YouTube doesn't like it when I talk about how the Europeans came here, built a bank, and then bring in people from China to work in your bank in Canada, and then you go outside the bank and it's all Canadian homeless people. And they say Canadians don't want to work. Fuck you! That pisses me off. When I drive across Canada, at every city I stop in, it's homeless Canadian people everywhere. Edmonton, Calgary, Waterloo, Ontario, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Dryden, Ontario, all kinds of small little towns across Canada, white homeless people. You go in the bank, Chinese people working in the bank. Fuck off! Yeah. All right, who else? Okay, YouTube is back. We got everything back going now. Back for Mike in the Night. All right. Damn, our viewership dropped so much. That's okay. I still remember living in Ontario was the best. Living in Toronto as a kid, oh, it was the best. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Some homeless guy froze to death in St. Catharines. Yeah. And you look into it, his dad probably fought in World War II. And he probably worked in construction his whole life building the country. And he froze to death in Canada. Because that's how fucking Canada works. You need the Europeans to come and build the fucking country first. And then kick them the fuck out. And then bring in the Chinese, the Pakis, and the Indians, and the whatever to come in and live here after it's built. Bring the Chinese, the Indian, bring them first to build the country? Right there. That's what you get. 2 fucks. And I didn't even start drinking yet tonight. All right. Yeah, 90s were okay. 90s were okay. Yeah. Dominator's message you mean, good evening, Mike. It's been a minute. A few minutes, in fact. Hope you and the family are well. I keep an eye on your posts. Hard to get in on the Monday nights, but I try. Nothing but love and respect for you. Yes, lots of love, buddy. Dominator, thank you. Oh, Gary Medeiros. Yeah, we almost got lost here tonight. We almost lost the show tonight. But all right. So guys, I'm going to drink some Sambuca tonight. I don't know why, but I just feel like having a drink tonight. And I haven't had this, I think, since I was like 20 years old. But the bottle's not even opening. There it goes. Ooh, I like that smell of Sambuca. Man, I haven't had Sambuca in years. It's almost like a form of grappa. If you ever had grappa before. So when I lived in Sault Ste. Marie, there was multiple times where indigenous women were left to freeze to death outside the police station after it happened a second time. All right. All right, guys, go ahead and message me. And we're encouraging first-time callers, please, to come on the show tonight. If you're a first-time caller, go ahead and let me know if you want to come on Mike in the Night tonight. Oh, wow. So the frozen women, they didn't even find them till spring. Yeah. We should get Gary Medeiros. I have him here. I have Gary Medeiros. Gary Medeiros wanted to call in last week. And he messaged me here. I need to get somebody to come on the show and help. I need to calm the fuck down. I'm fucking pissed off right now. Have a drink. Gary Medeiros, I just messaged him right now on Instagram. And hopefully he could come and make an appearance here tonight. Because he's been calling on the show. Oh, but I want to get Mitch. I haven't had Mitch on in over a month and a half. If Mitch Madden in the house, can you get on your Instagram? We need to hear from you too. Yeah, people are just coming back now and finding us on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. I thought you were moving to the Philippines. Oh, it's a slow move. Don't worry. I'm gonna find some time to go this year too. Go for a couple of more weeks. Do some more upgrades on the house. Do some upgrades in the area. I'm gonna go. I found a river. I found a river on this little remote island. It's like an uncharted island. No one lives on the island. So when we went island hopping, we found about 40, 50 islands. The video's up on YouTube if you want to watch our island hopping video we made as a family. But when we went island hopping, I found an island with a river that goes through it, deep in the jungle. And I couldn't find anyone on the island, though. There was nobody there. It was like abandoned. So I just kept going inland to see if I found a city or a town. No roads, nothing. I found a river. And I'm going to go pan for gold there. I'm going to go pan for gold on a remote island in the middle of nowhere in the Philippines. Literally nowhere. And I'm going to go make videos for you guys. I'm going to show you guys the house, the upgrades, because everyone's talking about the house in the Philippines we built for $7,000. And I want to go there and start panning for gold on those riverbeds there and look around. The state of our government is making me worry for all. Canada's finished. Canada died on December 2018 when Justin Trudeau signed the UN Migration Pact. Right? Now, if the First Nation people thought that the Europeans were their problem, or Europeans did this, Europeans brought over sanitation. And Europeans brought over sanitation. And without sanitation, we'd all be dead without sanitation. The Europeans brought over civilization. Now, if the First Nations people believe that the Europeans were the big and the Europeans and this and that, wait till they have to deal with the Pakis, the Indians, and the Chinese. And then you tell me. Watch. You know what they're going to say? Well, we stole the land from them. That's what Supreme Canon said. We stole the land from the whites. What are you going to do about it now? Ooh. Oh, you guys have no idea what's coming down the pipe. Woo! All right. Okay. We got, let's see if Gary picks up the phone and starts talking for a bit because I'm talking too much. All right. So I'm talking too much here tonight.
Hey, Mike.
Gary, touch Bo.
I'm okay, man. How are you?
Buddy, I'm doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Gary Medeiros. Back on Mike of the Night from, I don't know, he's been on and off the show for the last 8 years. And
Hello?
What's up, buddy? What do you got for us? Hold on. I want to thank Canadian EH for sending me $2 super chat. It says, feels like Canada will get annexed when the shit hits the fan. All right, Gary, go ahead, buddy.
Buddy, I don't know what to say, man. It's just things are pretty messed up out there. That's all I'm going to say in a lot of ways. I don't know. We've been talking about it for years and it looks like it's finally going to happen. So it's pretty bad. I didn't think it was going to be to this extreme, but things don't look that great right now.
Well, everyone called me mentally retarded when I told them that they're going to pull the trigger on a pandemic to fix this financial mess we're in. And then they did.
Yeah, yeah, I guess people didn't realize what was coming. And then it's not just, COVID, I think, was just the nail in the coffin, so to speak. So I think that was just a trigger for everything.
Well, they had to shut it down because if they continued, Gary, without pulling the trigger on the pandemic, and they continued financially the way they were going, we would be starving to, like, completely starving to death right now, like literally starving to death right now if they didn't pull the trigger on it. They had to shut it down.
Yeah, I guess you're right in that regard.
They had to shut it down. That was my answer, was to shut it down. Mm-hmm. And they had to, and they did. Now, in your neck of the woods now, housing is coming down, but it's not coming down fast enough. Well, it's coming down.
Well, condos are pretty much done. And I think they're going to get worse. Housing, I've heard from a couple of realtors that are honest and not people, who cause shit, but we could see 2010 pricing here in Ontario for housing. So if that happens, I don't know how fast enough it's going to happen. That's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's coming.
It's coming. You're going to buy 240 to 360 buys you a house.
Yeah, around maybe there, maybe a little bit more, but we will probably see 2010 pricing here in Ontario. It's going to happen, whether people want to believe it or not. It is what it is, but.
Well, the money laundering from China stopped in March 2024. I was keeping track of the money laundering from China, and March 2024 is the last month and day, the day and the month. It was March 11th, 2024 was the last day that China brought in hundreds of millions of dollars per day in money to wash in our real estate. So that's done. The whole money that's done. That money's gone, right?
Well, so Canada's done. So it's nobody's going to invest here anymore. Every businesses are leaving like crazy. People are leaving. There's no future here. Whether people want to see it or not. Denial is denial out there. So people don't want to see the truth. But it's pretty bad out there. I'm seeing it firsthand. Especially housing. A lot of people are losing their homes. A lot of foreclosures are happening. They're not reporting on it because why would they? But
of course they're
it's
not
pretty
going to
bad,
report.
man.
Because Gary, once people realize that the Chinese laundered $2.4 to $2.6 trillion through Canadian real estate since 2010. Oh boy. If I was going to make a short video today, a short 3-minute video saying, what if they removed the $2.4 to $2.6 trillion out of the Canadian real estate market, dirty money that was brought in illegally? What if that was cleaned up? It wasn't illegally because our government's allowed it. What would you're going to see $200,000 homes. You're going to see $40,000 one-bedroom condos, buddy. Because wages and incomes need to be tied to real estate prices, not money laundering from China.
I know condos are pretty bad. Like I said, condos are crashing pretty hard. You can get a condo in Toronto now for a pretty decent price right now. They built too much of them. There's too much, and they're still building. So now we're gonna have an oversupply of condos. Condos are gonna be worthless at some point, if not already. It's bad, man. It's pretty bad out there. This is And the more I think about it, it's we're going to be in for something. I don't know, man, but it's coming. So financially, I don't know. Housing was one thing I wanted to correct, but it seems like the whole economy's is coming down, and I don't blame Trump at all. We had 10 years of the Liberals that did this, and Carney is probably even worse than Trudeau. So I mean, I don't blame Trump at all. I mean, Trump just exposed all the cracks in Canada, so to speak.
That's what I kept telling people. Trump, hurry up and save us here. Get over here. What's going on? And I still remember in 2012, I made a video at the park by my house in Vancouver where I said, Donald Trump will run America like a business. Donald Trump will make a good president because he'll run America like a business and not
which is what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a 2012 video. And then
and he's kicking ass, and he's kicking ass over there, man. His tactics may not be all great, but at the end of the day, their country's booming, man. Their inflation's at 1.3.
Yep.
Their economy's freaking on the rise. Stock markets are amazing. I mean, what more do you want down there? I mean, it's working. You may hate the guy, but it's working. Their economy is way more better than us right now.
I'm not saying to be pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I'm just saying be pro-policy. What Trump is doing is bringing back policy or trying to bring back the sanity. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, and so it's working. Not being like I said, you can see in the States firsthand. And, everything's booming down there, whether people want to admit it or not. I mean, it's easy to blame Trump.
I know it is. I've been telling people, guys.
But it's not Trump, man. It's not Trump.
I'm going back into the States. I'm driving to Los Angeles in 2 weeks. So I'm going back to America for 2 weeks. And I'm going to be reporting for you guys all the cities and all the places. Like I went last year. Last March break, I went everywhere. That place was booming. There was jobs everywhere. There's very little government jobs, Gary. Down in the States, when I went talking to people, everyone works for themselves, or they work for a company, or they do something, but they get by. Here in Canada, in the town I live in, everybody works for the government. Everybody works for the government. I don't know anyone that works for themselves.
Everything goes to them anyway. So.
Huh?
You get a paycheck and everything goes to them anyway. So.
Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck? So you know what the deal is? I'll tell you what the deal is. Is that I'll tell you straight up. Around me, like when I'm around and whatever, like everybody hates Americans. Like they're very anti-American. I'm like, you guys are fucking retarded. 71% of Canadian exports go to America. Without that, we're fucking dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what fucking oil we have. Oh, but China will buy our oil. China's not buying our oil. They're taking our oil, you fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, even with Trump, what he did with Venezuela, man, once he gets all that oil cleaned up and all that, I mean, all the machinery up and running down there, that's it. He won't even need us anymore for oil. So think about that, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, Canada. So, Gary, I'm going to go touch on what you talked about. Here are our videos on what Gary was talking about. So 9 months ago, we made a video called Oversupply of Real Estate Markets Are Flooded as People Fear Crash, Vancouver, Toronto. Toronto condo oversupply. Housing supply narrative is total BS. Wake up, people. Fake GDP 5 years, 9 months ago. So we were already talking about this oversupply, Gary, almost 10 years ago. And Toronto has a housing inventory up 110%, massive oversupply. Panic selling has started. Housing inflation 8 years ago. So inventory up in Vancouver. So we were covering this oversupply thing, Gary, 8, 9, 10 years ago because there was already an oversupply then. Canada brought in more money from China, propped up the markets even further. And then just kept playing that money laundering game, right? And then in 2001... there wasn't a lot of money coming in, so they brought in 4 million people from India to buy our housing here because the local Canadians can't even buy their own houses. So they brought in 4 million Indians, and then they don't qualify to work in most jobs. So the government started subsidizing their wages to work.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We live in messed up times, man. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think something pretty bad's gonna happen. I don't know, but you know what? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
So where do you? So I guess waiting on the sidelines when I kept telling people don't buy anything, it's a trap. You waited. You didn't buy anything.
I still haven't bought anything. I'm in a position where I can wait, and that's about it.
Oh, thank God! I'm so happy you didn't fall for the trap. Thank God.
No, I'm in a position where I can wait, and I'm still okay, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, you know what? I got time to wait this out. I mean, it's gonna suck. I mean, it's gonna come down pretty hard, in my opinion. I mean, as far as people who bought homes, who committed mortgage fraud, all that stuff, and I don't feel bad for those people because they know what they did, right? So at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of people who got into the market in let's say, not honest ways, I don't feel bad for them. I mean, the people that deserve it, I mean, that's a different story. But do I feel bad for the people that lie to get their way into a house? No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a house to flip. I'm buying a house to live in. So I'll create a family or whatever the case may be, build a family, and
Well,
that's
that's the whole
the way I
point of
saw. That's
well
a
living.
house should never be used as a means to flip, in my opinion. I mean,
That's exactly what it is. We were talking about
they
housing
made
is
it
to
into a
lay
sport.
roots, start a family.
They made it into a yeah, and they made it into a sport. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and now people are gonna pay the price for it. So it is what it is.
I still remember back in 2016, Gary, I was walking the streets of Vancouver going to bidding wars. I have videos going to bidding wars with Chinese.
Oh yeah, I saw them all the time.
Yeah, the Chinese were bidding up a house, $1.8 million over asking. Gary, the house was a piece of shit. Was a piece of shit with a crack foundation built after World War I. And it sold 1.8 million over asking. It was all Chinese people on the front yard. Bidding. It's like, what the fuck? And then when they put that foreign buyer's tax in Vancouver, I knew Toronto and Seattle were going to get both destroyed. Overnight, Toronto prices were destroyed, and so was Seattle overnight because of the foreign buyer's tax in Vancouver they implemented in 2016. Fucking destroyed.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so I don't get it. I don't understand why our governments purposefully set this up in a way to fucking destroy the people that built this damn country and fought for this country.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know, man. And there's gonna be people still still denying that housing is gonna come down and all that stuff. I'm sure there's people in the comments talking about it right now, but it's coming down, man. I'm not saying it's gonna happen tomorrow, but I tell you right now, houses are gonna go down another 10% by the end of the year, at least, maybe more.
10. Dude,
I say 10.
I'm saying 18 to 24%, dude. We're just getting warmed up, buddy. Watch this summer what's going to happen. Faz conta que não diz nada. You're going to see what's going to happen by summer this year. You're going to see homes in Oakville, Ontario going for $450,000. Mark my words.
Yeah, even renewals. A lot of renewals are coming up in April. You're going to see a lot of people going nuts and getting divorces, all that stuff. You're gonna see it's coming, man. It's coming. It's gonna be bad.
And we made videos showing Gary. You remember those videos we were talking about? Calculate your TDS, your total debt service ratio. If they raise rates, can you afford your payment? We made multiple videos explaining to people that when they raise rates, or you're on 0%, or you're on some stupid fucking Mickey Mouse thing to get you on the property ladder. And then after they raise rates, you're fucked. You know how many real estate shows I've been on and they told me I was fucking retarded, that they'll never raise rates? And I'm like, you can't afford to, if they don't raise rates, you won't be able to afford to buy fucking food if you don't hedge against inflation. Now here we are, Gary. $400,000 house in Oakville, Ontario by this summer. Watch.
Well, I'll say that, a lot of people who bought it in the last 5 years, being that 5 years, this is the renewal year for a lot of those people, bought houses when rates are really low, and now rates are climbing up, and they're still inching up little by little, and people can't afford the renewals. So what they're gonna have to do? They have to put the house up for sale, right? And that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a lot of houses hit the market. I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing a lot of foreclosures hit the market. The banks now can't hold them on anymore. You're gonna see it's coming, if not already. I mean, you can see it in the listings. There's a lot of houses out there. I'm seeing a lot of houses sell for under $1 million in some spots. It's interesting. I've been watching.
Richmond Hill's getting his ass kicked too. Richmond Hill homes that sold for 1 point. That Chinese, because Chinese took over. Richmond Hill used to be all Italian. Then it turned to Chinese. And those houses in Richmond Hill, they're selling for 1.6, 1.7, $2.2 million. They're selling for under 100,000 now.
Yeah, a lot of houses I'm seeing up in areas like that and further on and all that are all selling for under $1 million now, and that's already a big sign that and now those are comparables, and people aren't going to get $1 million for the home anymore. It's just it's getting to that point, if not already, and it's going to be bad, man. Now, when this is going to happen, obviously we can't time it, but it's coming.
Oh, it's going to be, and there's somebody in the comments put up a good thing saying that Shparataki. Someone said here. Impossible. It's impossible for the housing to go down. Okay, because they're talking about the housing with the current.
We're gonna get that, right? It is what it is.
With current immigration targets. But here's the problem: the immigrants that are coming in aren't Chinese that have illegal money and fentanyl money they want to launder and just park it and leave our housing empty. And Gary, we forgot to mention in this conversation the vacant housing. Canada right
Yeah.
now has about 3.9 million empty homes, whether it's condos, townhomes, detached homes, whatever, farmlands, whatever. There's 3.9 million vacant properties owned by Chinese investors, almost 4 million. So
Yeah.
once those hit the market, holy shit!
Yeah, we're not even talking about the foreclosure the banks have. They haven't even put all on the market yet because people can't afford their homes anymore. So, and people who are walking away or whatever the case may be, and it's bad. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. Now I don't know if you know who it is, Ron Butler. I'm sure you're familiar with him. Maybe you're not. Maybe you are. But
Oh, I don't know him.
he's a okay. He's a pretty big mortgage guy in Ontario. I think he's in Ontario anyway, and he doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't give you fairy tales and tells you that things are going to be okay. He basically says that we're fucked.
Well,
So
I've been
I
saying
mean,
that for years, though. So
I mean, you got guys now. You got guys like him, and he's a pretty well known mortgage broker, and not just him.
was it one of
Vince.
those guys? Is he one of those guys that went for years that if you don't buy nothing now, you'll forever be bought out of the market. You'll never own anything
So
anymore.
at least not that I know of. I don't know
Okay.
of him specifically, but I mean, I know there's been a few people like that, and I'm sure now they're changing their tune, if type of thing. But guys like him, there's a guy named Vince Gaetano as well, who's from Toronto, who's in Ontario too somewhere, and he doesn't sugarcoat things. He tells you things exactly the way they are, and because that's the thing, right? A lot of these guys sugarcoat things to make everybody believe that everything's fine, and it's not. And you're going to see the job market employment. You're going to see unemployment go pretty high, and soon enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And no one's going to buy a house right now when they're not confident in their jobs. So
Oh yeah, jobs. Like everything. We predicted all of this in the housing years. Our problem, Gary, the problem I had for years is I was too many years ahead. You know why I was too many years ahead? Because I saw what was happening at Ground Zero in Vancouver. I was in
right,
Ground Zero, Vancouver, buddy. I was watching it from 2007, 2008, 2008, 2009, 2010. I was watching on Ground Zero, Vancouver, man. I was watching housing going 100, 200, 300,000 over 400,000 over. One bedroom condos going from 300,000 to 600,000, 700,000. I'm like, what the fuck? And the local Canadian, I'm like, this is going to happen across Canada. This is going to, Canada's going to be destroyed. Once this model gets out, it was called the Vancouver model. Once this gets across Canada, Canadians are completely fucked. They can't compete with this money laundering. There's billions of dollars. Trillions.
yeah,
So that's where we are right now.
yeah. It's unfortunate. We're in a time like this, and that the economy looks like is gonna take a beating, or pretty much is taking a beating. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are in denial right now. A lot of people are in denial right now, which is understandable. I mean, you're always gonna get those people. I mean, the evidence is pretty much right there, but people choose to ignore it, which is fine. I mean, everybody's entitled to what they want to think. So,
Glenn
I'm not
saying,
I'm not here to change. I'm not here to change anybody's minds. I'm just saying that it's gonna happen, whether people want to believe it or not.
so Glenn saying, where's Glenn's comment go? Damn, I lost it. Yeah. Vancouver has more empty homes than people. Yeah, there is. It's all empty, Gary. That's it for Z. And then you go to Burnaby's all becoming empty. You go to Surrey, it's starting to get. You go to North Vancouver, Richmond, it's all empty.
Yeah,
It's an empty shell. We were talking about the skyscraper dark ages 10, 15 years ago. We're going to start to experience skyscraper dark ages. We're going to see these
that's
big
already
cities.
happening.
It's already happening.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on that people don't realize, and they haven't said anything out loud yet.
Yeah. I think it's going to. You're right. It's going to get a lot
There's a lot of
worse.
shit that they haven't even said anything that is coming. There's a lot of shit going on. I mean, like I said, unemployment I think is worse than what it is. I think they're fudging the numbers, which is normal in this world the way that things are right now.
They're saying it's the 90s.
I think
We're going back to the 90s unemployment numbers. But here's the deal, Gary, and I brought it up at the beginning of the show if you watched about the 90s unemployment numbers. The problem with Canada is the unemployment numbers are only the people that are unemployed on unemployment insurance. The people that have been off of unemployment insurance and can't find a job for 2-3 years, those people don't count in that equation, Gary.
yeah, no, I realize that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people unemployed in Canada. A lot. My town,
Yeah.
I get 5, 6, 7 resumes a week at my little game store in a little 2-stoplight town. 2 stoplights in my town. A tiny town, Gary. And people drop off resumes, and all these kids, post-college, post-high school, late teens, early 20s. I'm like, why don't you go work at like a lumber or go here or go work over at the fast food or something? And It's like, oh, they don't hire white people. They're only hiring Indians because they're getting their wages subsidized. They tell me to my face, Gary.
Yeah. It's yeah, man. I don't know, man. Things are not good, not good at all. And I think we're in for a world of hurt. So I think it's just a matter of when it happens. Obviously, nobody can time it, but it's coming, and I think it's unavoidable now. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't done anything to stop it right now. So the way things are. Like I said, I'm surprised the government hasn't interfered. And, be prepared because they're going to come after your home equity. It's coming too. That's already been proposed. And
they're going to be calling out the home
happen.
equity. I got the videos up from 2019 and 2020.
Yeah.
They'll start calling out for the home equity
you
when they
sell
want
your
the money.
house, you're paying the government, basically. So you bought it for this much. You're going to sell it for this much. We want a piece of it. And it was only a matter of time before the government started going after that. So people who thought the housing was invincible, which is another thing, you're going to see people not even sell at all, which is going to be another thing.
Well,
So, because
they're not going to
want to, they're not want to give it. They're not going to want to give a piece of the pie to the government, right? So, the home equity tax is already proposed. It's not official yet, but it's been proposed, and Carney's going to pass that shit.
Well, we have our home equity videos up too from like fucking 5 years ago, warning people about this because they were passing those bills. But not only that, is for me.
What did people think though? What did people think? Did people really think you were going to get it? They were going to get away with getting all that money? Come on, let's be realistic here. Let's be adults here. Like, I mean, did people really think they weren't going to come after that home equity? Come on.
Gary,
especially with the boomers and all that, like people like parents and all that, and like my parents, for example. Like, I mean, you think they're not going to go after that? They will. It's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Gary, I got one.
So what money are you making? What money are you making?
I got something. I got something for you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I don't know if this happens in your province of Ontario, but I know in the province of BC. The video's up. You can watch it. The full detailed video with numbers and percentages and explanations. That. I didn't know this till like 4 or 5 years ago. I did not know this. That, if my house goes down to $40 value, $1,000, my house is worth $1,000. There's a problem with the town, the water, whatever, right? Did you know that the $4,700 in property tax I pay for isn't tied to the value of my house? I just have to pay $4,700 for property tax, even if my house is worth $100,000 or $40.
Yeah, I believe it.
I never knew that in the province of BC. That like if you're in the province and you're paying property tax for your house, I know some people in my town, in a 2-stoplight town, that pay $7,000 a month, a year, $7,000 a year.
I believe it.
And I found out through sources that your house goes down to $100,000 and there's no jobs and the economy crashes, you're still paying $7,000 in property tax, regardless of what it's worth. In America, in most states, if your house is $1 million and it goes down to $200,000, you only pay $200,000 worth in property tax, not the $1 million anymore. But in Canada, your house goes down, you're finished. You're still paying it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I know the world of hurt's coming. It doesn't look good out there, and I'm going to tell everybody right now, you better have a rainy day fund because it doesn't look good.
Or get out of the country fund.
Well, that too. But and who's saving right now with the way things are? I mean, who actually thought about having money put away? Because everybody likes to spend. Everyone wants to live. My neighbor has a big screen TV. Oh, I gotta buy one too. Oh, my neighbor's family goes on vacation. Oh, I gotta go to vacation too. It's all a competition, all to show off. Like, I don't understand that mentality, but that exists today. So it's always keeping up with the Joneses. Like, everybody wants to, oh, you know what, he did that, so I got to do that too. Or she did that, and she's got to do that too. Like, that's the world we live in, right?
Yeah.
If they can do it, why can't I? That's basically how what everybody lives by right now.
Yeah, but that's a very bullshit mentality, Gary. You know that very well. That's all bullshit.
Oh, I know it is. But look how long that's been going on for.
Yeah, it's been going on for years now. And did you know we got Steve the plumber on last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah, I talked to him here and there. Him and I still keep in touch.
Yeah, that's good. It's good that that we get this little circle of connection going on. Because when I visit Toronto, I want to visit you guys, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very. I don't know what to say anymore. Gary. It's like the warnings were put out there. What can you say, right? The warnings were put out there. I've been warning people for so many years that people thought I was like retarded. Like, this guy's fucking retarded. What's this guy?
Yeah, same thing with me.
Huh?
Same thing with me. I got the same stuff. You know, the way I think about housing and all that.
Mm.
Oh, it's never going to happen. This and that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about there's going to be a falling out between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and everyone called me clickbait boy. I told
Well, there
everyone,
was, but they seem to be okay right now, at least for the time being, anyway,
no, but
until
I'm
it
saying
happens
there was
again.
a falling out between Donald Trump. It's going to happen, and then there was a Donald, and then it was. Everyone called me
Yeah.
clickbait boy. I said Venezuela's next. The video's up. Venezuela's next. You're stupid. And I said, yo, there's going to be oil tanker seizures too. Watch. Oh, you're stupid, Mike. That's an act of war. Venezuela's not next. There's nothing other next. And then it happened. I said in November 2022, a man named Mark Carney is going to come, and he's going to be your crime minister. Watch. And he came to protect CCP Chinese interests.
Yeah, he's actually not gonna do much, in my opinion. Like he's gonna let everything fall. And I think it's gonna get, here's what I think is gonna happen. I think what's gonna happen is that he's gonna let everything fall, and then Trump will have no choice but to become the state. I personally think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think he's letting everything fall on purpose so that that Trump takes over. And you know what? A lot of people I talk to are okay with the idea. I'm not saying everybody is, but a lot of people I talk to are okay with becoming the 51st state. So I don't know. So I hear more people for it than against it. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, we live in troubled times. Shit's going to hit the fan pretty soon. And, I mean, we can't pinpoint when it's going to happen, but, houses already have fallen. I mean, the average in Canada has fallen over under $1 million for the first time ever. I mean, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Construction is at an all-time low. And even my dad told me that if construction goes down, that's when you know when shit's really fucked.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's happening now. Construction is at the lowest ever, and that's the biggest warning sign there is when it comes to recessions and how the economy's doing and all that. And it's bad, man. It's bad.
The government six-figure incomes we've been talking about for years on this channel, government six-figure income jobs, taxing us to death, cities going broke. It's all happening, Gary. Man, if you go back, so people are asking me from different platforms, 4 different platforms, to send links to the videos. Guys, this is how you do it. Watch me here. Go to my channel. Go to the stupid magnifying glass on the channel. Type in, I don't know, what were we talking about? Oversupply. What else were we talking about? 51st state. You mentioned 51st state. There it is.
Yeah.
Trudeau to protect CCP interests. Australia being turned into the 51st. Beware. Mike of the Night from 2023. 51st state. Elon is a dangerous man. Why Canada needs Trump tariffs. This is why Canada needs a kick in the head. Alberta has leaving Canada oil prices. So if you guys want to know or want a discussion piece that we're talking about, just type it in over here and you guys will find it. Someone sent me $2 again. U.S. will never let us vote. We'll be annexed instead.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know, man. Things are definitely not, like I said, pretty messed up. And with Carney running the show, it's not good at all. I think we're worse off with him than we were with Trudeau, and Trudeau was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just something, we got to be prepared for. Hopefully everybody has some money put in the bank and saved up, or whatever the case. Who knows if they're even going to come after that, too? Who says they won't come after your savings, which I kind of think is going to happen, too, at some point, which is something we all got to be careful about. So, because I have a feeling they're going to start coming after people who have money in the bank.
Mm-hmm. They are. The negative rates, remember, they're going to start charging people to have their money in the bank. We've been talking about negative rates. And before you pull all your money out of the bank physical, they're going to go digital. And that's what we've been saying for years. They're going to go digital to prevent a runoff on the monetary system, Gary. A runoff on the monetary system, so you can't take your money out because it's digital and you can't move it. Watch.
Yeah, it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. Like I said, we can't say when it's going to happen. I think the banks are going to freaking fall too, in my opinion. You're right. I think it's just a matter of when. And that's going to suck. But I think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yep.
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be bad. Like I said, if that happens too, we're already in big trouble as it is. But if the banks crash or fall or whatever the hell you want to call it, then basically we'll be sent back to the Stone Age.
Well, check my shorts too, Gary. Have you been keeping up with my 2-3 minute shorts?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They get right to the point, and I explain it and just break it down and get people on track on what's going on, like as quick as possible, because it's really hard to maintain people's attention more than 3 minutes, right? So
yeah, no, it's good that you put those out. It's good.
So
yeah.
Anything else, buddy?
I don't know, man. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. It's been a while since I called in, and I felt like calling in to basically, talk to you because it's the only way I can really talk to anybody is to talk to you. So
Man,
because
a good
you're one of the few that gets it, right? You, Steve the plumber, because I talk to Stephen Plummer here and there as well, so he gets it too. So you guys are pretty much the only two I really talk to this. I'm able to talk to this about with no problem. So
Yeah, and anytime, Barry, I'm always here to talk to you about this. You know that, right? You know
yeah, no,
that.
absolutely.
And yeah. Well, anyways, any last words, buddy?
I'm just gonna say, man, if you know what, if you got money in the bank, make sure you save it up, you keep it in there because and save up because, like I said, we're in for a shitstorm. It's gonna happen.
All right, buddy.
It's gonna happen. All right, buddy.
God bless you, eh?
All right, you too, man.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. That's Gary Medeiros out of Ontario, the GTA area, and yeah, it's good to have him on the show tonight. It's been a while since we had him. Supreme Cannon just messaged me. Oh, and we got Mitch Madden there. Who else is here? Okay, Corey. So someone just messaged me. We got someone message me back to let me know that the YouTube is back. Yeah, I see the YouTube back up, guys. So I don't know what the heck is going on, guys, with the streaming softwares and shit, and the internet is having problems, and it's all being all right, guys. Here, let's just do right here. Let's do this so people can understand what the heck is going on here, because we're getting a lot of first time people. We've been doing the show for like fucking years now, and all right. Let's go over a quick channel plug real quick. It's we're an hour in. Buy me a coffee, guys. Here you go. You want to support this transmission? I don't get paid to be here, so I'm not lying to you because I don't get paid. I don't get paid. I'm not controlled information distribution. There's our Facebook. There's our other Facebook. There's our Instagram. I'm going to give you guys a link if you want to call into the show. I'm going to copy this, copy paste. Go on your Instagram. Message me right now. Go and message me right now on Instagram, and I'll go into general and requests. And you can call on to the show through Instagram. And we dodged a bullet on TikTok, but I'm telling everyone to avoid TikTok because it's just banning people left, right? Who cares about X? I don't have any following on X. And to watch all the episodes of Mike in the Nights, go to Mike. So what you want to do is go to mikeinthenight.org. Mikeinthenight.org will take you to all the episodes of Mike in the Night. And you can see all the call-ins, all the people, all the discussions over the last 7 years, all here. Most of it's here. And you guys could have a good time binge watching some of the old Mike in the Nights. And if you want to go deep, you go find Mike in the Night on Odyssey. And right there, oh boy, you get episodes of Mike in the Night that are super dark. Super dark episode. Oh, look, Peter Leeds on Mike in the Night here. We had him on Mike in the Night 4 years ago. Yeah. Look at that. Just before the Ukraine war kicked off, or the proxy war, I smell war. Yep. Lots of good stuff. There's Dominic Merlo on Mike in the Night there 5 years ago. Who else? Oh, man, lots of good stuff here on Mike in the Night. Guys, you're tuned into episode 637 of Mike in the Night, guys. All right, so guys, just send me a quick request here, and I'll check the requests if you want to come on the show. So we had Gary Medeiros on here at 6:37. Yeah, Dom Merlo was awesome too. Nobody knows these guys' names. Of course they do. If you've been part of Mike in the Night for the last 7-8 years, you know what the hell is going on. Before anyone else was talking about it, it was talked about on here. Yeah, Alaska Prepper was on here. All kinds of cool people. God Rules. Remember Tony from God Rules? We had Tony from God Rules here on Mike in the Night. All right, so let's see if I get any requests. Okay, we're going to get Mitch Madden from Oregon to come on. Very important guest. He's been on, he's been coming on, he was coming on Trends in the Housing Market back in 2015, 2016. Trends in the Housing Market he was coming on for that. So we're going to get our boy Mitch on. I'm just checking our connections here to make sure we're reconnected. And it's really sad what's going on, guys. Really sad what's going on. Yeah, they cut the show off. Damn, I just noticed it. They cut the show off twice, actually. Yep. Okay, let's get our boy Mitch on here on Mike in the Night. And we got Lenny Poo buy me a coffee. Thanks, Lenny Poo, for buying me a coffee. And we got a coffee from T.O. Thanks so much for supporting the transmission. All right, let's get our next caller on. 637 here. Let's get our boy Mitch Madden.
Mike.
Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
All right. What's the good word?
The good word is I'm drinking some Zambuca and I'm out of ice and I'm going to go grab some ice while you talk to the people. Okay, Mitch?
All right.
Go ahead.
Hey, all right. Well, folks, real estate is really starting to show signs of a downward trend here on the Oregon coast. Been following about 8 small towns from the southern coast up to the middle coast, and real estate on average has dropped about 10% since the peak in middle of 2023. But one of the towns I used to live in, Florence, Oregon, on the central coast, is a really popular town. And last week, I noticed in 4 days, there was 22 listings, new home listings, not new homes, but they're new listings of homes, and only 4 sales. So we're getting about 5 times more listings than we are sales. And if this continues, and it looks like it is, the market's really going south right now. It's just starting. People have been holding their price, keeping the homes off the market, delisting and then relisting, and playing all kinds of games. Some homes have been for sale for 6 months and they haven't sold. Usually the higher end homes, but things are really getting bad. And I see all the signs of the similar real estate market we had between 08 and about end of 2011. So I don't know how far down real estate's going to go, but nobody can afford it. Nobody's buying. Places are closing down. We've got a little mall up here in Coos Bay north of me. I'm in Bandon, Oregon. It's not much of a mall, but a few years back we lost J.C. Penney's, and then we lost Macy's, and then we lost Sears, and then now we lost Joann's Fabrics. And basically, if you go on that mall, it's dead, and I don't even know how it's still open.
There used to be malls used to be in Vancouver too. In Vancouver, downtown Vancouver, all the malls were all like pretty much all gated and shut down, but you could walk through the mall and use the bathroom, and the security there, and everything was like boarded up and shut down, like everywhere.
Yeah, we've got another pretty big outfit called the Cascade Farm and Garden Supply. They took over several years ago after the Kmart closed down. They went into that store and they remodeled it, and it's a wonderful store. They've got lots of good quality products, and I think there's about 5 of those in Oregon, and they're all closing. and they'll be all closed probably by April, I'm guessing. And my friend's ex-wife was called him crying that she just lost her job, and finally jobs are getting harder to find now. I mean, there's been plenty of jobs over the last many years, small time jobs that you could always get something, but now it's getting harder and harder to find work when you lose your job, even a smaller paying job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been watching. Yesterday, I watched a vlog that showed 15 big major chains across America that are closing down either all their stores, they've gone bankrupt, or they're closing down a high percentage of their stores all across the nation. It's really getting bad. But in my local area, real estate just recently, I'm starting to see anybody who's been thinking about selling and holding off, waiting for, maybe it's going to rise. Maybe Trump's going to do some kind of thing with the Fed or with the Treasury, and they're going to do some mortgage tricks or something, and then the homes are going to skyrocket again. All these people that have been holding off are now starting to list their homes. They're just starting to pile on, and nobody's buying. I mean, we're selling in these smaller towns. Maybe one house a day is closing at the most, and up to 5 a day are coming on the market. This is just a very recent phenomenon. It's been showing all the symptoms, and I've been waiting for the hammer to fall, but the hammer's falling right now on real estate. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. And people are not spending money. Even people that have money aren't spending money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, it doesn't do any good to talk about the different war things that are going on all around the world, and the potential, 9/11s that might be likely to happen in the next year or two. And, the World War breaking out, all this, it doesn't do any good. But as far as real estate, that everybody has to have a house to live in or to rent or an apartment or something. And there's good news. If you're a buyer or a renter, there's a lot of good news. That is, if you still have a job.
Yeah, if you still have a job. So what Mitch was talking about, here we go, guys, on our channel here. The cost of doing private business is getting too expensive. Retail apocalypse closures ahead 6 years ago. Mike and the Knights, big retail closures. Private sector under attack. They'll tax you to death. They want to federalize 7 years ago. Major retail closures ahead. Is retail dead or dying? Or will people want to window shop again? Retail shutter down. To shutter down 76% by 2025. Real estate sold to China outperforms Canada, dying middle class 7 years ago. So we've been massive big box store closures ahead. The massive federalization of everything. Sears, JCPenney, store closures 9 years ago. The end of the department store. So this is something we've been very vocal about on the channel too, Mitch, of the closing of the private sector, basically. So.
Another thing that we're going to be seeing the courts and all these counties that have the county assessor's office and appraiser's offices, you're going to be seeing people who have purchased a home probably within the last 5 years are going to be going in and asking for a reduction in property taxes based on the new values.
Yeah, in the States you could do that. In the States, Mitch, you could do that in the States. In Canada, my property tax is at $4,700 a year in a two-stoplight town. It will never go below that. It'll always stay at $4,700 no matter what. If my house goes to $40, it's still $4,700 a year.
Yeah, I've gone in and argued before, and I've watched people make their arguments to try to get an education before I made my argument in front of the panel, and I found at that time about more than 2/3 of the people did not get the reduction. They got rejected. I got what I wanted because I got educated and I knew exactly what to say and where to make my arguments. The county had assessed a bunch of my outbuildings, and I told them the outbuildings weren't worth anything. They says, well, that's what it is. And I said, well, if you'd like me to burn them down and call the appraiser and have them come back out, I'll burn them down right now, because they're not worth anything. And I made a lot. And plus I bought the home for less than it was appraised for too. And I brought in all those documents. But the what happens in Oregon is we have what's called Measure 5 protection. In California, we had Proposition 13 protection, where the people put on an initiative onto the ballot, and it passed, that makes it where they cannot increase your property tax no matter how much the value of your home goes up, more than 1 or 2% a year. But when you resell the home, they can assess it at the new value, the new sale price. So the people who have purchased a home within the last 5 years or so for a much higher amount than the old assessment have been reassessed at the new price.
What if the price drops to 300,000?
Huh?
What if the price drops to 300,000?
Then you can go in and re-argue your case.
Yeah. Okay.
You can go in and re-argue it, and you'll be successful if you've got the evidence.
I know a lady right now that's paying $11,000 a year in Brampton, Ontario, Bramladesh.
How much?
$11,000 a year in Bramladesh. You can look it up. You can look it up for yourself. Brampton. It's called Brampton, Ontario. Everyone calls it Bramladesh. It's about $10,000 to $11,000. Okay, the property my mom owned in Brampton. If she kept it today, I check the property, I go to the address, I look at the property and look at the tax assessment. It's like $9,800 a year in property tax.
Yeah, my uncle down in Southern California, his property tax is about $12,000, and he doesn't live in his home is less than $1 million, but it's $12,000, and then his homeowner's insurance has escalated. He's got several raises the last couple of years, and he's up to about $10,000 on his property insurance. So every year he has to come up with 22 grand. That's net, that's and when you own your own home, you can't deduct a lot of things like you can deduct with a rental. And so a lot of it is after taxes. So basically, you might have to earn 30 or 35,000 just to pay your property tax and insurance if you can't write it off. You know what I mean? So that's if you have a $22,000 a year bill, hell, that's more income than I have in a year just for property tax and insurance. That's ridiculous. I've never made money off of income. My 1099 income, the 17 years I got a 1099, only 17 years, I never made more than 26,000. But I've cashed dozens of checks between 50 and 200,000 because I made my money off of real estate. And that's not, they don't issue 1099s. And some of them, if they were rentals, you have to give back the federal 25% federal recapture tax and all that stuff. You get hit hard on a rental. But if you since 1997, since they passed that tax exemption for a homeowner, if you've lived in a home in anywhere in America 2 of the last 5 years, you can take up to $250,000 in profit for an individual and $500,000 for a married couple, tax free when you sell your home. And that's been in effect since it was passed 97. I think it was in effect since 98. So they haven't had a capital gains tax on the home sale of your home. Even if you moved out and used it as a rental for a couple of years, you'll have a little bit of recapture on the depreciation that you took on your tax return if you did a tax return, but you don't have to pay anything on the profit. And by profit, you can deduct what you paid for it plus any improvements.
Right.
And then the 250 on top of that for a single person, 500 is tax free. So a lot of that money that has been greasing the economy in America has been from real estate. I would say the majority of it from the middle class has been real estate money, and that's all going to dry up now. On top of everything else that's going wrong.
Yep. I want to thank Tech Maximum for the coffee, please. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you to Tech Maximum and Linny and also Tio. Thanks for the coffees tonight here on Mike in the Night. Guys, you got to remember that we just do this for the sake of doing this for all these years, right, Mitch? You've been in this for years, Mitch, with us here. So you've been in this group for a long time now.
Yeah, you remember I don't even have a cell phone, but I was always afraid to donate. And then I don't know, a year or two ago, I did my first donation, and I've done a couple. So it's $10 donations.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out how easy and safe it was, and my bank doesn't even call me now. Before, when I first sent you a $10 coffee thing, my bank called me as soon as I put in for it. That I got a message on the phone, automated message, and it says, if you made this donation, please confirm, push 1 or something. But now they don't even bother me, so it's very safe to donate. I just used my my checking account, a debit card or whatever, and
I appreciate that, Mitch.
it was very safe to do. Remember, before I sent you some pesos and dollars in the mail.
I used those 500 pesos when I went to Philippines.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of money in the Philippines.
It is.
$10.
Yeah.
But I sent you a 20 US and then a 500 you were laughing about it, but when you got to the Philippines, you weren't laughing. It's $10.
Yeah, no. It's good. No. And the 20 bucks I actually used when I went down on my March break. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go back down to. My wife wants to go back down, so we're gonna drive to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go to Anaheim. We're gonna go to the Los Angeles Zoo. We're gonna go to where else are we gonna go to? Los Angeles Zoo. We're gonna probably stay on like Sunset Strip area, maybe. I don't know, maybe Beverly Hills area. I'm not sure. We're gonna find a decent area to stay in.
I haven't been down there to Southern Cal in ages. I spent 3 years down there after I got out of high school, and I didn't get drafted, so I decided to go down there and get a job, and I lived down there for 3 years. So I enjoyed it, but I was glad to get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Before I sent you that when I mailed you that money, when I finally got your real address, I mailed you some US dollars and some Canadian paper money that I had. I put them in an envelope, folded them up in a piece of paper and put them in an envelope, and just put a smiley face on there, and I mailed it to your shop, to your business.
Oh.
And I never heard anything. I watched a couple of shows. I never said anything. I never heard anything. And then about 3 or 4 weeks, it was close to a month later, I got the envelope back.
Yeah.
And it still had the money in it and everything. And it got rejected because, like you said, they want to charge you you got to take a second mortgage to get a safety deposit box there or get a mailing address.
For me to get a mailbox, they want $490. They don't want to deliver the mail to my store. So instead of delivering the mail that's why I order from you. When I order, it comes through UPS or FedEx, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I order through Canada Canada Post, they want $490 for a box for my mail from my store, and I have a store, and then I can't even get mail at my store unless I get a box for $490 to get mail to pay bills. That's how fucked up it is in Canada.
I haven't had a post office box in quite a long time, but I don't think it was more than $50 or $75 for a year.
Yeah, but if it's $50 a year in your country, it's $500 in Canada. That's how Canada works, right? Like if you want to buy a new car in a new pickup truck in the States, it's like $36,000. Here in Canada, it's $90,000, $100,000. Good luck money. They call it good luck in Canada. You get luck.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada, you were saying before that some Canadians were kind of pissed off at Americans.
Oh, shit. The town I live in, everyone hates Americans. Oh, America this, America that, Americans this, Americans that, Americans this, and Americans that. It's like, mafangulo, what the fuck do you know? 71% of our exports go to America, so shut the fuck up. Unless you want to starve to death.
Well, when you were mentioning that earlier, it just came to my mind, Mike, that I don't think that Americans have any different opinion about Canadians than they always have, and that is a good opinion of Canadians. And the average American is like the average Canadian. What the government does is completely out of our control, nationally or internationally.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have any say-so. And maybe Canadians look a little more owned, a little more weak, a little more screwed than Americans. But still, the people are just the same as we are. The majority of the people are, by and large, good people. And I'm
what the problem is, Mitch? You know what the problem is, Mitch? Is majority of the people that live in my town work for the government. And people in the government are scared of America. They're scared of what Trump's doing, because if he tries to bring back the sanity or try to fix shit, a lot of these people working for the government and all these treaties and ban money and all this shit money that we're being taxed to death for comes to an end. It's game over. It's fucking game over. And a lot of people, again, like I remember when he came on Mike of the Night and he gave us that speech about how, you know, back in the day, if you worked for the government, that was the worst thing because you couldn't make it in the corporate ladder. You couldn't open your own business. So you go work for the government because there's no other way to make it. Remember that speech you gave us?
Yes. Government. My grandmother was a GS-12 in the government, which is about like almost like the highest major, right up to a colonel you could get in the military. That she was a GS-12, very high for a woman in her day, and she was she was a ghostwriter for General Westmoreland, worked out at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, famous, infamous general from. But anyway, she used to say it's good enough for government work, and anyway. The government, people who went into the government were people with generally less ambition, and they just they weren't quite up to snuff. And once you got locked into the government, you became tenured. Nobody could get rid of you. And you were there for life. Everybody that worked for the government was there for life. You got decent wages and outstanding benefits in retirement. And but the wages used to not be quite as competitive as the private sector, justifiably. And now the government employees make more than the private sector,
yep.
By and large.
Yep.
And they get better benefits, and you can't get rid of them. And I mean, it's like being in a union on steroids when you get into the government job. And you're right. The like the teachers union is the biggest union in America, and they're I every teacher I had from kindergarten all the way through high school, I liked them all. I don't have any bad memories or thing to say about any of them, but the teachers union is really screwed up, and the administrations, the superintendent of schools and the managers and the principals and all that, they're making so much money now. It's just like in many hundreds of thousands, plus their retirements are. I know a lot of people that work for the government, whether it's the city, the county, the state, or the federal, that make more money in retirement than they made when they were working, and they retire earlier than the private sector. Generally,
yep.
And they're just making a killing, just a filthy killing, and it's all funny money. Yep. Our percentage of American GDP that is derived from manufacturing now is approaching 10%. And pretty soon it's going to be down in single digits.
Yep.
And I mean, we're just not making anything. It's what they call a financialized system. England went that way a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a big fraud. I mean, if you dug up that whole country of England, you couldn't find one thing that was worth anything. It's all funny money. The whole thing is run on funny money. Garbage. Yeah.
So, But Mitch, the problem we're having here in Canada is a lot of these government six-figure income workers are very, I guess, programmed to hate America. I noticed that. You guys do your own research on this one. When you go out and you start seeing people hate on America, Americans this, Americans that, fuck America, find out what they do for work. And they'll tell you, oh, I work as this, or I working for this for the city, or I work for that. Oh, so you work for the government. And you have a problem with America. You know why? It's because when you work for the government in Canada, you don't have a problem with America. You have problems with America because you're at fear of losing your job where a government comes into Canada and cleans the fucking country the fuck up. Right. And 90% of these public sector workers gaining six-figure incomes. You go to any public sector office in Canada, there's no Canadian people working there. You walk in, it's like, where the fuck are the Canadian people? I went to a passport office not long ago. Where the fuck are the Canadian people? Well, sir, you can't be saying that. I'm not even fucking Canadian. Look at my I'm fucking Portuguese. We're the fucking Canadians in this fucking country. For fuck's sakes.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? Along those lines, if you're a private sector worker, especially in a skilled trade, or you're an entrepreneur, you've got your own business, you would be much more apt to want to immigrate to America for obvious reasons, because hard work is rewarded here, and your cost of living is lower here than Canada.
Oh, way lower. I tried to live in America, Mitch. You saw my video. I tried. I lived in Florida for 5 years. I did everything by the book that they asked me to, and they told me to fuck off. So,
and you're also in America. You've got a selection of climate zones that you can and prices and lifestyles and things. options are just unlimited in America where you can live. Or Canada, even though Canada is probably about the size of America, 3 million square miles or whatever, you don't have the climate zone opportunities that you have down here with, surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, and the Atlantic on the East Coast and the Gulf on the south and the Pacific on the west. But you're surrounded on three sides by ocean, and you've got tropical climates, and you've got Mediterranean climates.
Yeah.
My hometown down there, where all the Portuguese that I grew up with live, they all came to all those small towns down there, the San Francisco Bay Area, that had a Mediterranean climate, where you might get only maybe 10 days a year that is over 90, and you get almost no days, maybe a couple that have a little bit of frost in the morning, and you get maybe 20 inches of rain in a year. It's just a perfect, and you can grow figs and pomegranates and citrus, lemons and oranges and nut trees, almonds and walnuts, and you can grow pomegranate, everything that every Portuguese I know had a home, a property that was and they were growing everything that grew in Portugal, and it was perfect climate there. And the Portuguese we have Portuguese halls in every little town around where I live, and Portuguese get together, and the Portuguese always invite the whole community. You don't have to be Portuguese for all these chambaritas and sopas and all the different
sopas. Yeah,
we had that every year. The local Portuguese farmers that lived out of town and the farms would donate sheep, and they would cook up this sopas and make all this beautiful French bread or whatever you call it. And we would have a big feed, and they would bring in 150, 200 people at a time, and then they would feed them, bring out these humongous pots of meat and bread, and then everybody would eat, and then they would move them out, and then they'd move in the next batch all day long, and then at night they would have the chambarita, the big dance, and they still have it every year in my hometown, every year. And they would have the Holy Ghost parade.
Yeah.
And then they would have the queen and the princess and all that, the young Portuguese, pretty little Portuguese, we used to call them, girls would, and they would be in the parade and all that. They still have that every year in my hometown. My hometown was exactly the size of Merritt when I was growing up. It's about 29,000 now, but it only had
dude, it's like they say there's 7,000 here. There's about 2,200 people here. There's no only about 2,200 people here. I don't see 7,000 people. I'm sorry. I just don't. We don't have the infrastructure to house 7,000 people here. We don't have the buildings. We don't have any low rises. We don't have anything here. So we don't. Yeah,
what is the benefit to overestimating your population? Is it you get more government money or something?
Yes, taxes and revenues and taxes, and we pay more tax as a city, and we're not even a city. Again, 7,000 people is like a village, right? A city, it needs to have at least 800,000 or 1 million to become to be classified as a city.
So, Mike, I'm thinking. We've talked about this before, but you have a pretty good sized family, your wife, kids, your mom and all that. And you got a big old house, and you're kind of set up there, comfortable as can be. I mean, consider all things considered, but you're in Canada, and Canada is going down the tubes.
Yeah.
So my question is you got options. You can go to the Philippines, or you can go to the Azores, or wherever, you've got options, but I mean, it's a humongous, leap of faith to do it, but Canada might be just driving you out of there.
Yep. It's getting to that point. I tried to move to the States. You can watch my video, How I Failed to Be an American. I did everything by the book. I made sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. I was running ads. I had a corporation sponsor me. I had $32,000 in the bank account. I had everything set up to become an American. And when I did, so what people keep asking me, just move to the States. You just can't move to the States. It doesn't work like that. Especially if you're a white European Canadian, you're white European living in Canada. It's impossible to get into the United States. It's impossible.
Well, I think that they only want losers now.
Right? So
maybe you have to, because of the DEI or whatever, you have to have to fit into their diversity, equity, and inclusion category or something, or they won't allow you. You have to degrade the overall status of the country, not enhance it.
Right.
They don't have the kind of discrimination that they used to have. It's the opposite. They discriminate against people that have promise.
Yep, people that are going to make a change or difference, right?
If you don't fit into the right category, that's the whole thing. My dad was he worked in a couple private fire departments. I mean, city fire departments when I was a kid. And then he went to work as a government fireman at the Mare Island Shipyard. You know, there's three fire stations on Mare Island Shipyard. They were basically it's a naval base, but they built submarines. Admiral Rickover was always there and everything. But anyway, my dad said that the probably back in the 70s they started lowering the standards for being a fireman. Mm-hmm. Because they decided that they wanted to let in certain categories of people who could not pass either the physical or the mental rigorous testing that they did to be qualified as a fireman. They always gave veterans five extra points, which is a good deal. I think they should give veterans a little bit of a preference. Mm-hmm. But they started discriminating against the high scorers if they were the wrong race, gender, or whatever.
In Canada, it got so bad that you go to the bank now, everyone's either Chinese or Hindu. No one speaks proper English. You go to any government service in Canada, no one fucking speaks English. Like, it's fucking bullshit. That's how bad it's gone. Oh, they have to get this and that. Okay, you walk into a bank, you see a one China man in the back. Okay, he's good at math. Okay, you got the one China man. But you got the people, Canadian people you could fucking talk to. You go in there, no one fucking speaks English. You go to rural fucking Ontario, rural parts of Ontario. You walk in, it's all Chinese people in the bank. You walk outside, it's all white Canadian people, homeless outside. That fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, I wonder, I know that Portugal has gotten quite an influx, across the, from Libya and all, from Northern Africa. They've got, just a hop, skip, and a jumps there to get into Spain and Portugal and all that. I know that they've had quite a bit of influx, but what about on the Azores? Is that just almost pure Portuguese still in Azores? Not a lot of immigrants?
Pure Portuguese. It's still pure Portuguese in the Azores.
Well, that's the place to target then, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to move over there, don't go on to mainland Portugal. I would, because you had mentioned the Azores before, and one of the guys I grew up with, John Silva, he was in my class. We only had 99 that graduated from high school, and we called him the Azore Kid. That was his nickname, the Azore Kid. And then what about the Philippines?
We're going to go back again sometime at the end of this year. We're going to go again this year. I'm going to make some more videos. I'm going to go gold panning. I found a river. Yeah. I went island hopping with a friend of mine on a boat. I got the video up on YouTube, the video island hopping. So we found an island that's completely uninhabited, and we walked into it. I walked into the jungle, maybe a quarter mile, and I found a beautiful freshwater river flowing through it. So I'm going to go back there and pan for gold panning.
Wow.
I'm going to make some videos. It's just an abandoned island. So I'm going to bring a tent. I'm going to set up my tent on the beach, walk inland. I'm going to film it all and show you guys. And yeah. So park our boat on, push it inland so it doesn't get washed away, and just go gold panning, gold mining. Like, I got a gold pan. I got a trough. I got some buckets for water. I got everything. I got all my, my gold pan, my filter. I got everything I need to look for gold, right? So I'm going to go try that out in the Philippines, in the rural, weird, fucking, just abandoned, uncharted island.
Well, it's hard. It's hard. Prospecting is hard, but an ounce of gold is $5,000 US.
Yeah.
Mike, when I, in 1998, I flew over to Manila, and I met a gal that I'd been writing letters with the old-fashioned way, the pen pal thing. And we got on a ferry, and we went from the docks there in Manila, and and we stopped at several islands, and we went down to Osamas in the western Mindanao, and then we got a van over to Oroqueta City, and then we took a tricycle to Tipan, the little town we lived on the ocean there, in the Misamis Occidental, it's called. Anyway, we stayed at her family compound there. It's a bunch of like nipa huts, and in the middle you have to walk up off the road into the jungle, and there was no electricity. Nobody had any electricity, and they had a water pump down in the gully that sometimes worked, sometimes did. We had to fetch water from there for household use, and we had a catchment off the roof that would catch water, and we would always take a bath when we go to fetch water. Mm-hmm. And then we went to another location that had a pipe shooting out of the side of a hill above a river that was supposed to be good drinking water, and we'd fill up 5-gallon jugs, and it was far away. Mm-hmm. But one day there was a guy in a carabao, those big old water buffalo like things. Yep. And he was pulling a cart, like an old fashioned, 1920s looking little wooden cart with wooden wheels on it, a big old cart. And he was pulling it up through this trail and up. And then all of a sudden I heard this thud, thud, thud. And I looked, and he had these pieces of a bamboo that were about 30 feet tall when he put them together, and with a little homemade blade on the end, and he was going way up, and he was cutting down coconut, and they were dropping to the ground, and he was filling up this cart, and all of us went walking down to the river on this trail, and we were trying to dodge all the carabao, poop that was piled up on the trail. And we got down there, and we had a monkey with us. Mm-hmm. It was a native monkey that was a pet named Cheeto. And we got down to the river, and the younger women were carrying these big tubs of clothes to wash their clothes, because we didn't have any running water. They washed their clothes in the river. They get down into the river on the rocks, and they'd bring their bars of soap and their washboards and stuff, and they would sit there and wash clothes while everybody else is swimming. And pretty soon the carabao guy in the cart comes down, and he's got a thing full of coconuts, and he unhitched the carabao, let the carabao get into the river to take a bath, and the monkey's out there. And with it, I've got pictures of the monkey and all of us in the river there. What an experience. I stayed there for about a week in this little old hut, and it was really a wonderful experience. And those people were the happiest people you ever saw, Mike, and they didn't have shit.
All right, the locals.
But the family I stayed with, they did have a little pit with turtles in it. They grew turtles for food. They had a bunch of dogs. They had a bunch of chickens. They had a few goats, not sheep, goats, and then they had one cow, and they would go out. Pepito, the uncle, he would go out and move that cow and stake it down, and had a little short leash on it in different areas to graze during the day. And they grew chilies and eggplant and tomatoes and things there. And we had a self-sufficiency project right behind us that the government helped provide, and all of the people who lived up in the mountain right there had the rights to go in and pick whatever they want. They were coming out of there with big stalks of bananas over their shoulder, green bananas, mm-hmm. and there was rambutan and lanka, and there was all kinds of fruit up there, and you could go back there and get what you wanted for your family. It was called a self-sufficiency project, and that was there too. So anyway, we ate really good, and we had a catchment, a big 50-gallon bucket that would catch water when it rained. It rains almost every day. Seems like you get a downpour, like a squall, and then it would get warm and hot again. But we had little 2 foot by 2 foot piece of cement next to the 50-gallon bucket that would catch the water off the roof. And that's where we would take our normal bath if we weren't going down to fetch water, and take a bath down there. And you just stand there after it's rained, the thing's full, and you go and you take your little tabo and you throw water over yourself. And I would always, you have to leave your swimming trunks on, because you're out there, everybody's looking at you, Mm-hmm. So, the girls and the guys would leave their insiders, they called them, your underwear or your briefs or your top, if you're a girl, you leave that on. And you just put the soap underneath there, and then rinse, and they kind of hold it open and rinse it off. But that's where we take a bath, right out in public, right in front of everybody. And then our toilet was it was a pallets that were about 4 feet tall and that had rice sacks stapled to them. And you would bring some water in there to the toilet, and I was like almost 6 feet tall, and it's only 4 feet, and it was really uncomfortable to try. I basically had to crawl into the toilet, and it was a cesspool type of toilet. It was all clean inside there, but the crap would go out out the side of the mountain somewhere, and for everybody there. Where I was living, used that same toilet. Everybody, and I got a really bad stomach while I was there. And when they saw me coming, everybody scattered.
So, guys, what Mitch is talking about here's in our videos here on our channel, Adventures in the Philippines. You go to the channel and you scroll down. There they are. This is the video I made washing clothes. So we're walking out. There we are. We're walking out to the river.
Mm-hmm.
And the video's up if you guys want to watch it. It's called How Some Locals Wash Their Clothes. And these are the, again, we built a house on a desert island off the coast of Manila. So, and then we go down here, we walk. And then we get down to the river. And then there's the river there and the water's moving. And people wash their clothes here. Mm-hmm. And then when it rains hard, oh boy, does that thing ever raise. So that's me filming there. And so you guys can see how clothing is washed in the Philippines. There it is right there. So you guys can see how it's done. You were there about
a month, weren't you, Mike?
There she is burning a thing for the mosquitoes there. They burn this thing to keep the mosquitoes away. Because the mosquitoes are constantly everywhere. So, and then the island hopping video I was talking about was this video here we made. Where we visited 7 or 8 different islands in the Philippines. There's the island, another island there we went to. And these are just abandoned desert islands, right? So we went to a whole bunch of them. And the video's up. It's called Island Hopping in the Philippines. Super affordable and fun. There's a snake over there we found. And just islands everywhere. We were all over the place. We were all over the place. Look at these desert islands. There's just I'm gonna bring some tents next time. Those tents that you throw up and they kind of build themselves and they kind of expand. There's our boat. Yeah, we're just going to put up a tent here and go some fishing and panning for gold. I don't know, just doing shit, you know what I mean? But there's my kids there. But snorkeling.
I have let's see, since 2013 I've been in the Philippines 9 times. But I was there in 79 and 80, and then I was there in 98, and then I was there in 99. So I've been there 12 times, and I've spent 19 months in Mindanao, and I've spent 3 months or more up in the Metro Manila area. And I've been on Cebu, on Panay, not on Negros, all over Mindanao. I've been up to Baguio in the Cordillera Mountains. You have to go over the Sierra Madres, I think, to get over there to Quezon Province and Aurora Province, where your island is, your wife's island.
Snakes?
That's in Quezon Province, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know no snakes.
And Aurora, that area there is where those super typhoons like to hit that northwestern, from the central to the northwestern, eastern Philippines. That's where they come out of the east and slam into that area.
Mm.
And there was one year, I can't remember which president it was in the Philippines, but the place where he lived, just the whole place got leveled. I mean, all the trees, everything was just laying flat. The typhoon was so, full of energy there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lawyer.
Get those tropical cyclones, they pick up all the energy from that warm water. And and when they get to be, what do they call those, level 5 or something? What do they call it?
Category 5.
They call it Signal 5 over there. But anyway, they've had some major typhoons over there. And another thing, I've experienced it in Manila and I've experienced it in Mindanao, is they've got big earthquakes. I've experienced earthquakes because I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've experienced some that I was playing billiards in a pub in San Francisco on Geary, and there was an earthquake so bad that I was queuing up the cue ball, and the pool table lifted up on one end, and all the balls rolled to one side, of the table, while I was getting ready to strike a cue ball into the rack, and all the balls went to one side of the table. That's how bad the earthquake was. But in the Philippines, I've experienced stronger earthquakes, and they're really powerful, and there's a lot of them. That's in the, what they call it, the Ring of Fire down there in Indonesia and the Philippines. It's the Ring of Fire. There are volcanoes and earthquakes all over the place. And matter of fact, where I live there in General Santos City, not far from there is Mount Matutam. It's a beautiful, perfect island, kind of like my own volcano. It's even more beautiful, in my opinion. And then to the other side, over in Sarangani, there's Mount Parker, which I believe might be kind of partially active, maybe. There's volcanoes all over the place there. Mm-hmm. So it's a wild place, and I just love the Philippines. I really love the Philippines.
There's someone hating on Filipino people here on the chat saying they're calling Filipinos fucks. No, you have no idea. The Filipinos don't go around acting like they're fucking king shit like the Chinese and the fucking Indians do. And the Chinese and Indians don't do fuck all for this fucking country. The Filipinos work fucking hard. My wife's in the Philippines, and I'm proud to be married to a Filipino woman. I never met a Filipino, and I've spent 2 years in that Philippines all over the place, and I was married to a Filipino for 13 years, and I'm probably going to marry another one. I know the Philippines really well. I've studied it, and I've never met a Filipino that would not give even a stranger or a foreigner the shirt off his back. Yeah, so... Anyways, I just wanted to, it's just stop putting the Filipinos in the same boat as fucking Chinese and Indians. They don't fucking belong in that same fucking boat.
Whoever is fucking Roman Catholic too is very childish and very small-minded.
So they're fucking Roman Catholic too,
and someone who hasn't traveled around, the world. There's nothing that will open your eyes and humble you like traveling around, especially to places that have extreme poverty. And I'm always as generous as I could possibly be when I'm in the Philippines. I try to do as much as I can, because I'm just luckier. I was lucky because of what my ancestors sacrificed for, just like yours.
Yeah, so
I got lucky. That's all. And anyway, Mike, have you really thought? I'm sure you've contemplated the Azores versus the Philippines. If things get really bad there, but it's hard to move the wife, the kids, the schools, the hospitals, your mom. You got a lot of things to consider. Yeah. And you got to do all the paperwork for everybody, and all the shit.
We already have our Portuguese paper. We're all Portuguese citizens, so we're fine. We did all that already. So the kids already have it, and my wife does.
Well, that would probably be a better solution to go to the Azores than the Philippines, even though the Philippines is not a bad solution. But I think the Azores, considering your status there, and you and your mom speak fluent Portuguese and everything.
My kids understand it perfectly.
Huh?
My kids understand. My wife understands Portuguese too.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed about Philippines is they have a tendency, not all, but they have a tendency to be really adaptable linguists.
Yep. Like can I tell you the story about my wife when we were in Metrotown Mall? It's a predominant Chinese mall.
No.
So me and my wife went to the mall a couple of times, and we're pushing our baby carriage around, and Tony was a little baby, and we're going through the mall and buying ice cream and hanging out. And my wife understands Mandarin because she lived in Taiwan. And she was telling me basically that, these Chinese people, they're always talking shit about Canadian people. I'm on the elevator. They look at you and they're talking about like how I'm garbage and I'm on government and welfare and I need to be killed to make this country better. And it's like, they're saying that. They're like, yeah, every time we're out, Chinese people always have some shit to say about you or white people, or they hate fucking Canadians everywhere we go.
Is that in Vancouver?
In Vancouver, yeah.
Oh, shit. I wouldn't go there anymore.
Yeah.
The hell with them. My gal in the Philippines, we've been together almost 13 years. She's super fluent in English. She is a novelist in Tagalog, and her primary language is Bisaya. And if anybody is speaking Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, she understands them perfectly. And then what I call my daughter, been with her since she was 5 months old. She calls me Papa. She is so fluent in English. If you talk to her, you wouldn't even know she's living in an area where nobody speaks English except her mom.
Yeah.
And
you know how I learned Spanish? ¿Tú sabes cómo yo aprendí a hablar español perfectísimo? Because I lived in Mexico for 2 years in a place where no one spoke English, ever. You had to go miles to find someone that spoke English. Eso porque yo puedo platicar siempre en español como un pinche mexicano, güey. Anytime I want, I can speak like a Mexican. When I was in Portugal and I met people from Spain, I spoke in Spanish to them. They looked at me and said, are you Mexican? I'm like, no, I'm Portuguese. Here's my passport. I'm Portuguese. Well, you talk like a Mexican. I'm like, you know what I mean, right? So, anyway.
Right. Oh, that's cool. There's nothing like being forced. If you have no choice, you will learn fast.
Well, I learned Spanish when I lived in Mexico, and then I moved when I lived in Miami for 5 years. I didn't even speak any English. I spoke always in Spanish. I go to the gas station, I spoke Spanish. I go to McDonald's, I speak Spanish. I go everywhere, I speak Spanish in Miami.
Wow, but they didn't try to shit on you there in Mexico or in Florida like they do in Canada. No,
and there they were. Even when I was in Los Angeles, like 6 months ago, everywhere I went, everyone just spoke Spanish to me. Señor, mira, tus maletas está para allá. Déjame buscarlos para yo. Okay, whatever. Everyone just comes to just talk Spanish to me. Everywhere I go, everyone speaks Spanish to me. Everybody. When I was in Los Angeles, they don't even come up to me and speak in English.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I lived and worked in East LA for 2 years and 11 months, and I learned a little bit of Spanish, like dos enchiladas de pollo para Mitch, por favor, or something like, I would learn things, little things that I would pick up on, and I could understand most of the conversations and stuff, because most of the people I worked with were Mexicans, but I was working with mostly Mexicans that were, like their parents moved them legally, or they were legal. And most of the Mexicans I worked with in East LA, they called the newcomers wetbacks. They actually, these are Mexicans calling the Mexican a wetback.
Yep.
And I thought that was funny. And they called me honky. The Mexicans I worked with called me honky.
The Mexicans, when I used to live in Miami, everyone used to call me El Portugués.
Oh, the Portuguese.
Yeah, they used to call me El Portugués. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you know what the name of a snake in Tagalog is?
I have no idea.
Ahas. Aass. Yeah, and the lizard is butiki, and a monkey is ungoy.
Yeah, that's so far off. I don't. Yeah, I just know some words in Tagalog because it's close to Spanish, and that's it.
And
like the days of the week. Yeah.
The cockroach they call ipis.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't. Yeah.
No. Well,
I'll probably go to the Philippines in the late summer, towards fall, and I'll probably go for a whole month. And I'll probably go for a month, and I'll start picking shit up there. You know what I mean? But anyways, Mitch, I got another caller on. A new caller, first time caller. Okay. Johnny the Saint. Johnny the Saint's gonna come on.
Cool. All right, look forward to it. Bye, Mike. God bless.
God bless you, Mitch.
Bye.
All right, guys, we got Johnny the Saint here, calling on to Mike. Johnny the Saint Schneider. Apparently he's on Facebook too and has a big following. So we'll get Johnny the Saint Schneider here on the Mike of the Night here. Let's go into. So thank you for a donation from Tech Maximum, Lenny, and Tio for the donations tonight, guys. Thanks for supporting Mike in the Night. Guys, don't forget that Mike in the Night is 21 and older. Viewer discretion is advised. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Fact check and do your own research. 18 U.S. Code Section 2257. And guys, if you want to join our email list, don't forget to join our email list, MikeMartins1980 at gmail.com. Don't forget to join our email list if you'd like to. And MikeMartins19 at gmail.com. That goes right to me. And I check my email every hour or two just to update myself on what's going on. And you could go ahead and email me, and I could add you to our email list. And you are tuned into episode 637 of Mike in the Night. I think we're on season 34, season 34, episode 8 of Mike in the Night. All right, guys. And guys, if you want to pick up your boy a coffee, I'm going to give you the link in the description. And remember, guys, we don't get paid to be here. I'm not bullshitting you. We don't get nothing. We're not part of U.S. aid. We're not getting any support. We don't get nothing. We are not welcome on social media. So I'm going to give you this here. Boom, paste, boom. There's a coffee if you want to buy your boy a coffee there. And let's get our boy Johnny the Saint on Mike in the Night here. Let's see if he picks up. Hello?
Hola, Mike.
Hey, how are you, my brother?
Very good, sir. Very good. Just an outstanding show tonight for you.
Well, thank you.
Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny the Saint Schneider here on Mike in the Night on episode 637. Thanks for joining in and tuning in with us. So, buddy, I saw you in the chat. You're active. What do you got for us, man?
Gracias, amigo. Just hola to all the good people on your show, man. All the old guys. Mitch, what an outstanding call. I just wanted to add to Mitch's comments. I'm working on expatting out of the U.S. And anyway, I wanted to tell you that change and a solution comes from within, within every individual, every single individual, the people that are watching your show, the people that are aware and enlightened to the situation, that there are no solutions inside of this paradigm. We as individuals must change within, and then we in turn can change from the outside. It sounds trite, but it needs to be done if you want to advance beyond what is occurring here in this world. So inner work, work on your physical shape, physical body, get that in tuned, get your nutrition tuned up, work on your mind, meditation, prayer, all the things that are good and positive, focus on that, change yourself, get yourself out of this system of things as much as you possibly can. Remove yourself from these countries that are not good. The U.S. is not good. I live in Oregon like Mitch does, but that's my residence. Soon to be going down to a Central American country.
Which one?
And I just came from there, and I'm up in Puerto Vallarta now attending a conference. Anyway, the conference, it was the first day of the conference, and very, very positive things. But there's going to be a bifurcation of people that can advance and people that get stuck in the trap that's going to be unleashed on the populace, on everyone. Mm-hmm. The track and trace, it'll become a prison.
We've been calling it since 2015 a digital prison.
Yes, Mike. You've enlightened a lot of people. And you're very prescient. You're very futuristic looking, and you're right. You're absolutely right on your points. From way back, I've been listening to you for a fairly long time. I first got into you when you called uneducated economist Simon up in Astoria.
Yep.
That's when I first started listening to you, because you talked to him, and I'm going, man, I got to subscribe to Mike. So the change comes individually, and then if enough people change and focus on improving themselves, then the paradigm will shift, and the forces, it's the forces of good versus the forces of evil. You can make that change, and together, the people that have worked on themselves and improved themselves and push themselves to a higher level of vibration, or whatever you want to call it, will defeat the evilness that is inherent, really, or that has been pushed upon us. We're all dumbed down, fluorides and trails in the sky, etc. Education deteriorated to where people can barely read now. So it requires a removal of yourself from the system as much as possible, getting away from the bad countries, getting to the Philippines, getting to small Central American countries, getting out of the big populated areas, and make a change in your life. What do you think of that, Mike?
Well, you're right. You're completely right. Trying to get out of the scope, or try to get out of the radar, so to say, out of their radar field, right?
Yes. Not all people can do it. Not all people will do it. But if you have the desire and the motivation to do it, you can do it. I smoked weed from 2018 to just up until I left Oregon to come down here. And
what country in Central America are you in?
I'm going to Nicaragua, Mike.
Oh, Nicaragua.
I am going to expat to Nicaragua.
The only thing I have the only problem I have with Nicaragua is the president, and I have a problem with the shifty. Nicaragua has a very shifty policy where one day the people will go against the government, and the government's going to blame the foreigners and then freeze bank accounts and take private property. It's happened before, and it's just really shifty in those countries. I'm really scared of Nicaragua. I'm scared of places like Costa Rica, even Panama too. I know Panama is like up and coming, but it's just the governments are so shifty that it's unpredictable whether or not they're going to start freezing accounts, because they do that every couple of years.
I agree with you. It's they had a little uprising in 2018, and the government just smacked down hard, and many people lost their lives in that little skirmish, the little uprising that they had in 2018. Not many people know about that here in Nicaragua, but if you can somehow vanish yourself, lower your footprint, and meld in with the locals and the local populace.
You have to speak Spanish, though.
Sí, amigo. I'm working desperately on that right now, because Yeah, I'm lost without the language. Yes, you are
Because right
lost.
now, because what happened in Nicaragua in 2018 was the pension benefits austerity was cut. So anyone with pensions in Nicaragua pretty much got cut in half overnight. And then
Yes,
the corruption in government was skyrocketing. And then you had the democratic backsliding that was happening. You had the media suppression, and then you had Ortega's long hold on power, right? So
absolutely.
I'm talking to you because I care about you, and I want you to understand this. I just want you to be careful. Keep your head on a swivel, right? And
Yes.
and just and then any opposition leaders against Ortega, if you remember, they were all arrested. So
Yes, amigo. I fully understand that. Ortega, is ailing. He's getting up in his 80s, I think, and he's turned most of the power or the reins over to his wife, Murillo, and she is an Imelda Marcos type of figure, likes to flash.
you're talking about Rosario Murillo.
Yes, see.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's shaky. Yeah. The situation, the political situation is not good. However, I think that a person, an individual, can stay out of that,
Yes.
not become involved, assimilate into the country, speak the language, know and love the locals. I met a family down there that beautiful family, but the guy works. His wife works so hard, and he only makes $15 a day down there. Then they're making it. They're surviving. He just put a remodel on his house. But yes, it's poor. Privy out back, pigsty out back. It's very third worldly.
But hold on a sec. It goes back
Go
to
for
what
it.
I was talking about when I went to the Philippines for a month. The average person makes about 60,000 US in their lifetime. Okay? They end up
Yes.
owning a house, a cottage, a car, and 3 motorcycles, and marry 1 or 2 kids, and go to parties, and live a good life, and eat well with $60,000 in their whole lifetime.
Yes.
So you see where I'm going with this, right? So there's it's yeah, you get where I'm going with this. So it's really, it's the people, it's everything around you, it's the economic shape that the country's in. You go in there with a little bit of money, you could set yourself up, you could keep it on the down low. Nicaragua, it wouldn't be one of my first choices right now, because now anyone that's considered protesting in that country, they're calling them destabilizing actors, is what they call them down there.
Yes.
And without a voice in the country that could stand up against the government tyranny, it's kind of scary, dude.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, sir. It's my solution for that is to just stay out of it as much as possible.
It's impossible. You're an American.
Yeah, it comes to that. It comes to that point. Yes, I want to stay out of the enclaves. I want to stay out of the groups of Canadians and Americans that are down here. I just want to disappear into the culture and the communities, the small communities of this country. It's beautiful down here. And Managua, believe it or not, with all of its troubles and problems and population, like 1.7 million people live in that city, which is the majority of the population of Nicaragua itself. But it's thriving in parts. and it's vital,
Oh, I believe
thriving.
it's thriving. I believe that there's some. I believe that there's progress. Believe me, there is. But it's just it's just the power outages that happen from time to time, right?
Yes,
The inequality
yes,
outside of Managua, the inequality outside, and then
oh yes,
the roads and public services are a big issue. They're inconsistent in some regions, right? Depending on where you're going in the country, right? So,
oh yes.
and the only problem I found, and I spoke to somebody that moved to Nicaragua, and they told me, this is what they told me, was that title history, or any title what you want to own in that country, must be verified thoroughly, and it could take 3 to 10 years.
Wow, wow. Thanks for telling me that, because I did not know. I've associated myself with some people who are very knowledgeable about this whole thing. Good people,
Mm-hmm.
and I will continue associating myself with them to do it. To do it right, if I'm going to buy property down there, and make a life, make a homestead.
The trick, I think
yes,
the trick in Nicaragua is to buy land, because it's easier to buy freehold land, and then you pay someone $6,000 to build a house. That's what with poured concrete and rebarb. That's how I would do it. I would actually not buy a house. I would look at freehold land, and it's easier to obtain land in Nicaragua than it is to buy a freehold property, a house.
exactly what I'm looking at, my friend. Yes.
Yeah. So that's just my opinion, right? But you could look into it further.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, there are some major negatives here. The trash along the roads, the dog population, the separation of the haves and have-nots. But I think good people can make a difference. Good people can make a change, and I think there's going to be a regime change down here. Hoping for the best on that. But there's also a big Chinese influence.
That's what you got to watch out for.
There's a lot of Chinese stores.
Watch out for the Chinese. That's what destroys the country from inside out.
Yes,
they're laundering money, and they're buying up the country's infrastructure, the telecom, electricity, just like they did in Jamaica. The same shit. The Chinese go in, start laundering money, just like in Canada. They own like several hundred of our mines in Canada. They own tens of thousands of farms. They don't farm them. It's just rural, just empty. And they own $2.4 trillion of our real estate. Watch out. The Chinese are the ones that actually destroy your country from inside out.
Yes, that's not good. That's a big negative. Big negative. Yes, sir. I'm focusing on the good, but I'm not, I'm not a Pollyanna about it,
Yeah, no, I want you to go have fun, enjoy your time, make friends, have a good life experience. That's what it's all about. It's all about what experiences you have on this earth, so you take it to the next life. And you want good ones to take to the next life, right?
Absolutely, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm saying. But I just want you to keep in mind with some of the things I said. And yeah, the dog population there, dude, you're talking just in the capital alone. There's about 20 to 30,000 roaming dogs, stray dogs.
Yeah. In Granada, also, just dogs all over the place. It's tragic. There's a lady down here that is, has a huge finca, a huge ranch, and she takes in a lot of strays. I haven't visited her yet, but I want to make the trip out. It's very close to where I'm going to be living, so I'll be able to check into that. But Mike, I'm weighing, the positives, the negatives of this whole situation. I have a friend down here who has been down here for probably 20 years. He owns a resort up in Esteli, the northern mountainous part of Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
And he has done well, and he loves the country. He's 80 years old, and he's in poor health. But he's done well, and he has made it here.
Mm-hmm.
And he still believes in this little country, and loves the people. He married. Well, he didn't marry. He had two girlfriends and fathered 4 sons.
Mm-hmm.
His youngest son is 10 years old. So when he was 70, he fathered a child.
Mm-hmm.
But he loves the culture, loves the women, and loves the country.
Yeah, the women are definitely, yeah. If you're a single guy, the women, you could find some really good 5-star family-oriented women. Just like in the Philippines, you could find some good 5-star family-oriented people, right? So. Oh
yes, traditional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Traditional women, and yes, very good. That's a positive.
Yes, it's a good thing. There's lots of positives of Nicaragua. There's a lot of rivers down there you can start gold panning in. Like if you like to gold pan or you want to learn how to gold pan, watch a few videos and see how it's done. I recommend go down because you're a stone throw away from any jungle. You get out there, find a river, get your pan out, start scooping some sand into your pan, you'll be like, fuck, I'm liking this, man. Put some talk radio or Mike in the Night in the background and pan for gold, and you'll be like, fuck, I got a quarter ounce, or you know what I mean? Fuck, what did I do? Look, I made some money today, fuck, and I'm having fun,
Oro.
Yeah, lots of gold in those fucking rivers, boy. Down there?
Oro y plata.
Yeah,
maybe not so much silver, but
yeah. Well, where do you think they get all that fucking ore from? All the gold and all the statues they built back in the days with the tribes and that were there, and all the gold jewelry and stuff they made. It was all panned. It was all mined. It was all that stuff is above surface. You just have to go look for it. It's there.
Yes, yes, very, very much so. Just keep it on the down low, and take it easy, take it slow, immerse yourself into the country,
mm-hmm.
and changing yourself from within is a big thing. Heart, mind, and body,
mm-hmm.
Your spirit, your vibration. I know it's woo-woo, but it's a tenet of life. It's a basic of life. If you want anything from this life, you have to change yourself first,
mm-hmm.
and then you could work change on your surroundings, on your people, on your immediate locale. But yeah, the points that you brought up are cogent, are very spot on. So yeah, it's a mystery, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Give it a shot. It's life experience. You're experiencing a life experience, and you're there to. Just go in, enjoy, meet people, shake some hands. When you get invited to a party, always go to a birthday, whatever it is. Just go to the parties, sit there, enjoy, sit on the bench, watch, listen to the people, have fun, and just enjoy. Be part of the. Always never turn down a party, because then you won't be invited ever again, right?
No, yeah, never. And this little family that I met, this little familia. Great people. They had the abuela, grandma there. Nice. Great grandma was there. They have a little daughter, Isha.
Iha.
Yes, pardon me. I'm working on it, bro. But yeah. So anyway, I'm I'm high on it. I'm up on it. But I realize that yes, there's a lot of tragedy there. There's a lot of horrendous things that you don't even want to look at. You want to just say, "Oh God, I can't." Turn your eyes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Mike, pretty much all I wanted to say to you, and I wanted to just give all the folks, all the good people out there, Craig Cook, Lenny Pooh, the boys, Mitch
Madden.
Mitch Madden, what an awesome guy. I'm proud to call him a fellow Oregonian. I grew up in North Bend, Coos Bay area, just north of Mitch on the coast, and good life in the 60s and 70s, and even the 80s and the 90s were good. I raised a son, raised a family, had a family there, and still have. My son is still in Oregon. Yeah. So I've got to go back to Oregon, settle the things up, and by Junio, I'll be down here June.
Yep.
For good. But my blessings to you, Mike.
Well,
and
you can still tune into the show if you get internet. So you could every Monday night. I should be here, unless I'm on
absolutely.
vacation.
I'm in Puerto Vallarta right now, but attending this conference. But yes, I could get you down. Pardon me?
You're in Jalisco.
I believe Puerto Vallarta is Nayarit State.
I thought Puerto Vallarta was in Jalisco.
Oh, maybe it is Jalisco. I had traveled up to Tepic, which is in Nayarit, east of here in the mountains. There's a lot of people here, man. But it's not Puerto Vallarta and Mexico overall. I don't think is my thing.
Puerto Vallarta is in Jalisco.
Jalisco. Okay.
Yeah. So if you go outside, when you go outside later, you're in Puerto Vallarta. Go outside, look at the cars. Look at the license plates, and it should say JAL Mex on the top of the license plate. It says JAL Mex.
I will.
Go look outside, and you're going to see what I'm saying. JAL Mex. You see JAL Mex? That means Jalisco, Mexico.
Will do.
Because I lived in Guerrero, Mexico for 2 years, and all the license plates on the car said GRO, Guerrero, Mex.
Yes.
So.
Excellent point, Mike.
All right.
Anyway, Mike,
keep us updated. Come if you can. Try and come on the show once a month and update us on your progress when you get to Nicaragua and how it's unfolding for us, and let us know.
I'll do it. I've made a few friends down here. Made a few contacts. And good people from my discernment. Good. I want to be very careful about it and not become the unattractive American, which I won't be. I mean, that's not my nature, but yes, Mike, thank you for your words and, thank you for your broadcasts. I've learned a lot from you.
I appreciate that you telling us this. I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, so it feels like it's a good thing, I feel
no, you've reached at least one person here.
Good.
I consider you a mentor. I consider you a person to look for when I want good factual things and and great knowledge. And you're a genius, Mike.
I don't know. I know I drink and I know things.
Well, you're trilingual, man. I mean, that's an amazing feat.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a choice though. Like I didn't have the academics for a lot of things. But okay, I speak 3 languages, but I don't have the academics for a lot of other things though. So I have to make it up somehow, right? So.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, but you're a wealth of knowledge, sir. But anyway, much respect.
Thank you, brother.
Much blessings blessings to you and your family. I hope, I know you're working a slow move, out of the cold, frozen north, and and I wish you all the best.
Well, we'll keep in touch, brother, and we'll talk very soon, John. And God
All
bless
right.
you.
All right. God bless you, Mike. Blessings.
God bless. Bye bye.
Bye-bye now.
One thing I was gonna tell him. I hope he continues listening to the show. Is one thing I hope he does when he's in, if he's not a Christian, or he's a Christian but never really go to church in Nicaragua. Go to church in Nicaragua. Go to the Catholic. It's all Catholic down there. Go to the Catholic church in Nicaragua. And if you're not baptized, go get baptized in the church in Nicaragua. Go find God in Nicaragua. Yes. Okay, so who else is someone said on Rumble, quite the quote, Mike, quote of Mike in the Night, I drink and I know stuff. Yeah. Yes, I do know. So Hiram Musa is saying, are you not an expert on Tartaria, Mike? Yes. See, I'm an expert on certain things because I buy books that were published 200-300 years ago that tell me a different history than what the history they're telling us here today. So, yeah. So, anyways. Yes, I drink and I know things, okay? But, yeah, we're wrapping up our third hour here. And it's been a great show, guys. It's been a really good show. We got screwed over at the beginning. Kind of got through it, and then here we are. Yes, someone's an expert in Tartaria. Yeah, that's John the Saint. That was John the Saint Schneider that called in. On Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. Guys, I wanted to bring to your attention, I noticed this the other day. This is really strange. And I'm not bragging. I don't want you guys to think I'm bragging because I've been on social media for so long anyway. It's not bragging anymore. But we are approaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're at 97,800. We are approaching 100,000. I mean, it's nothing because we already passed. We're approaching 200 subscribers on Facebook, and Instagram almost 160 or whatever. But on YouTube, it looks like we are growing or being allowed to grow on YouTube after so many years. Holy shit! After so many years. Yeah, someone says that Belize is a major coke path to Miami, and the dealers shoot it out. But if you're not in the trade, I don't see a problem. Stay away. Belize is not bad. Belize is not bad. They supposedly speak English. I had a friend from Belize, born and raised and educated in Belize. He only spoke Spanish, though. I tried to speak English to him. He knew 3 words. But apparently they speak English there. But he was born and raised in Belize. And he speaks Spanish, right? So, it's supposed to be English in Belize, but yeah. So, someone's going on about Tartaria there in the comments. Here's my video here, guys. So, you go to the channel. You scroll down. You'll see Mike of the Night episodes here. Then you keep going down, and then you start to see Right there. Erase history. And where's my Tartaria? Tartarian Empire, and here's play some of it.
Theory Vault. Today we will be looking at the Tartarian Empire. Let's explore this lost empire, uncovering the Tartarian people, a journey through time to explore the mysteries surrounding.
The mud flood theory is fascinating but highly speculative. While there are instances of buildings with lower levels buried, these can often be explained by natural sedimentation.
From maps and historical records around the 1890s is seen.
See, there's a Portuguese map right there. Tartaria y Tartaria Oriental. This is a Portuguese map. The Portuguese were the first to map Tartaria when they're going around the world 300 years before anyone else.
Seen by theorists as a deliberate act of.
Look at Korea. Look at Korea. Korea, Japan.
Suppression. There is a strong belief that they used energy harnessed by pyramids, and the rest of the world was outlawing its use or suppressing its knowledge.
Theorists argue that colonial powers and emerging empires had a vested interest in rewriting history to establish their dominance and diminish the achievements of the Tartarians, just like what history is doing today to the Portuguese Empire, erasing it from existence.
The claim that the Tartarian Empire was erased from history is intriguing but lacks substantial evidence. Historical reference.
Right here.
Portuguese explorer Manuel da Silva. But who were the Tartarians? We know them as Tartaria, and to the east as Tartara Oriental. And why can't we explore further inland? We hear stories of their knowledge and massive intelligence in all aspects of life. I always wondered why we never established contact with them. Journal page 37, March 16th, 1624.
So, there you go. Woo! Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, South Korea was part of Tartaria too. South Ukraine, sorry, was part of Tartaria too. All right, guys. Guys, I'm going to get some You Mike in the Night swag out there for you guys on Teespring. People are asking for cool stuff. So I'll get some t-shirts or hats made if you guys like Mike in the Night. And what else? Yeah. I appreciate everyone. How many coffees did I got? 3 coffees tonight? 1, 2, 3. We got 3 coffees tonight. Thanks, guys, for the coffees. I really appreciate that. Again, guys, we're here on our own accord. We don't... Wow, that's a good video. Well done. Yeah, watch my videos, Hiramusa. Watch them. It's on my channel. Go to my documentary section on my channel. You'll like all my videos. You'll like them all. They're all good. Sexy Mike swag. Architecture, Kazakhstan matched to Tartaria, but not Russia. So, 10 grim perspective. If you want to come on Mike in the Night on a Monday night, you're more than welcome to come on and talk about Tartaria for 30 minutes and tell us what's going on with that empire or what happened with the empire. Maybe you should watch the video I made first to see what I covered. And if there's anything on there that's wrong or anything that's questionable. Yes, you put a lot of work into that video. Yes, I'm going to watch it again and the rest of them. Thank you, Hiramuso. Toth, you are an impolite, uneducated Yank. Yeah, so no one knew about my documentary. Okay, here it is. Here it is. All right, let's do this again. You're going to go to the YouTube channel. You're going to scroll down. You're going to go Adventures in Portugal, Philippines Adventures, my $7,000 house in the Philippines playlist, all how to get to my house in the Philippines. Look, this video, people keep asking where my house is. We are in the country. This one takes you to my house in the Philippines, how to get there, and then we take the boat, And then we get on the island, and then we arrive on the island. Then we arrive on the sunny island. And then we drive to the house. So there it is, guys. That's the Philippines. That's, people keep asking me about that. So let's go down. Go down. You'll see the conspiracy vault. This Columbus erased history is really good. The formation of the military order crisis is good. The Tartarian Operation High Jump. Consciousness versus awareness. The death of frequencies. Gold-backed currency wars. Really good one. This one's really good. Watch all of these. Consciousness is the foundation for existence. Columbus Hidden Files.
And a spy for the Portuguese. If you haven't checked out our previous documentary about the Templar Cross and the formation of the Order of Christ, I urge you to check it out. As we try to discover why Portuguese history is rapidly being erased from mainstream history. What did the Portuguese really know, and why is it such a big secret? Let's find out. Columbus was actually working for King John II of Portugal as a double agent. Columbus's voyages under the Spanish crown were meant to mislead the Spanish monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, about Portugal's true plans for global exploration.
Portuguese maritime dominance. By the time of Columbus, Portugal had already established itself as a major maritime power, exploring the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada. Nova Scotia is Portuguese for New Scotland. They mapped out most of Africa and opened sea routes to Asia. The Portuguese had perfected techniques in navigation and exploration. Columbus was sent to mislead Spain into looking westward, while Portugal secured more strategic routes around Africa.
Delays in Spanish expeditions. Columbus's proposal to the Spanish court took many years to materialize. This was purposely done so that his multiple rejections and delays were a stalling tactic, allowing Portugal more time to establish its own naval dominance.
Misdirected exploration. Columbus's deliberate underestimation of the Earth's size and his choice to explore westward could have been intended to divert Spain's attention from routes around Africa that Portugal was already colonizing. Instead of Asia, Columbus ended up in the Americas, a direction that was not initially of great interest to the Portuguese, as they already knew which were the best parts to settle. And this is why, several years later, Portugal announced that Brazil was officially discovered in 1500. Then a fleet commanded by Portuguese diplomat Pedro Álvares Cabral landed in Porto Seguro to announce its findings, between Salvador and Rio de Janeiro. But secretly the Portuguese had been establishing and setting garrisons and ports in Brazil circa 1488, 12 years before its initial announcement in 1500. Because the Portuguese knew the value Brazil had to offer, and to defend it at all costs. And the Portuguese worked close with natives to protect its settlements and keep it a secret from the Spanish at all costs.
So there it is right there, folks, if you guys want to watch some of my documentaries. No one's ever seen them. There's like no views on them. But anyways, yes, I do have lands beyond the Arctic. Here it is right here. It's this one here. Go down. Up. No, it's this one here. I'm sorry. It's this video here. This one.
Admiral Richard E. Byrd stood on the deck of the USS Mount Olympus, staring out at the endless expanse of ice and snow. He had a task force of 68, included 4,700 men, 70 ships, energy generating sphere. Inside the walls of the cavern were lined with a metallic substance that seemed to pulse with energy. The temperature inside was surprisingly mild, a stark contrast to the frigid exterior. "Admiral, you need to see this," called out Ethan Eric Larson, the team's USN commanding officer. He stood at the entrance to a large chamber filled with advanced machinery and glowing, attempted to harness their technology via memory crystals that can hold a vast amount of knowledge, but the elders had prevented them from succeeding because they saw and understood what their intentions were after giving the Nazis instructions on how to build the anti-gravity bell.
So that goes really deep, guys. That goes really deep. Watch at your own risk. All right. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up in my third hour, guys. Thanks for the coffees. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for being here tonight on Mike in the Night. I'll see you guys next Monday, as usual, regular time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Guys, join the email list, Mike Martins 1980, and I will just message me and I'll add you to our email list so you don't miss an episode of Mike in the Night. And you are tuned into episode 637 of Mike in the Night. Anyways, guys, tuning out, Mike Martins here, tuning out for episode 637 of Mike in the Night. Take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.